So, the PS5 specs were revealed the other day, and according to console fanboys, this is just the latest in the long list of things that were supposed to kill the PC. Shortly after the announcement, Sony ponies took to Twitter to argue with PC gamers about complete nonsense, and I gladly accept that argument. Today, we're going to be going through some of my favorite Sony pony responses, talking about how great the PS5 is, how amazing it is, how incredible it's going to be, and how this now somehow makes the PC irrelevant. So strap yourselves in because this is going to be a rough one. Tweet number 1, coming from 8K Daddy. PC elitist, Steam versus Epic Store got you down? Well, let me kick you even further. Consoles are a better bargain and will have better performance next gen. 8K, fastest SSD speeds, better games, better community, and cheaper price. Better community, yeah, that's a good, self-awareness, bud. Your days are numbers, bastards. Who's the snob now? If only I could be a part of this better community you speak of. Well, let's break this down. I've already established in many videos, and many PC gamers have established many times across the internet, that you can build a PC for cheaper than a current gen console that will perform better than a current gen console. It is not hard to get into PC gaming, nor is it expensive. And this will be true of the next gen as well. One of the big things that Sony focused on in their announcement was the fact that it is 8K capable. But, of course, being Sony ponies, people didn't do their research and assumed that this meant 8K gaming. It does not. The PS4 Pro was marketed the same exact way, but with 4K capable, and the PS4 Pro rarely does 4K. And whenever it does do 4K, you usually have the sacrifice, a pretty drastic sacrifice of frame rate. So no, the PS5 will not do 8K gaming. But let's look at this fastest SSD speeds. Do we have any real benchmarks on this SSD? All I saw was that it would reduce the loading screens of Spider-Man from something pretty bad to something less bad, which, you know, hooray. A next-gen console is going to load a current-gen game faster than the old-gen console? Is that something to celebrate? I guess my point is I am very doubtful that the PS5 will actually have the fastest SSD available, especially since this thing doesn't come out for another, year and a half, 2 years? Remember back when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out and they were so underpowered, but everyone's defense of that was, oh, they've been in development for a few years, so the tech is a few years behind, you have to forgive them. But now, for some reason, people are just completely glossing over that again. People are saying the PS5 is going to be a monster, it's going to be amazing, because look at this hardware it has, but completely glossing over the fact that it, too, isn't out for a couple years. So it's going to be outdated, and it's not even the strongest on the market right now. The PS5 right now is equivalent to a upper mid-tier PC, I would say. And that's right now, in April of 2019. What's it going to be when this thing launches in 2020? Late 2020 or 2021? Console fanboys are always quick to move the goalposts. They'll defend the 8th gen consoles because, oh, they were in development for a couple years, so the tech was behind, but for some reason that doesn't apply to the PS5. And then responding to this tweet, we have Pleasant Grove. PC players have to make sure the game is compatible before they play. We really don't, actually. Then have to turn down all the graphics just to survive. If the game is compatible, we don't have to turn down the graphics, actually. Y'all PC kids, take a seat. We are only 2 tweets into this video. I went to the profile of this 8K Daddy guy, and surprise, surprise, his pinned tweet is 91.6 million consoles sold, check. 90 million active users, check. Steam has 90 million active users, actually. 90 plus rated exclusives. Wait, what is that? What is 90 plus rated exclusives? Does that mean you have over 90 exclusives that were rated something? Or does that mean you have an exclusive rated above 90? Because the PlayStation does not have all above 90 rated exclusives, if we're talking Metacritic. Does anyone remember The Order 1886? Does anyone remember Knack? Are we just gonna forget about those? Game of the Year winner and contenders. Fucking pretty much anything is Game of the Year contender nowadays. PSVR with 90 plus rated game. Yeah, there's the 90 plus thing again. PS5 prepped and ready. Check. Wait. How are you ready? And how are you prepped for this thing that isn't out for 2 years? People are putting so much into this idea of the PS5, and I just don't understand it. Can you tell me what frame rate these games are going to run at? Are we finally going to be getting 60 FPS as standard, or are we still going to be living in sub 30 next generation? Because it's more cinematic. You guys still gonna have to pay for your online? Even though Sony themselves proved it wasn't a necessary cost back in the PS3 days? Is Sony gonna stop being a butt about crossplay and they're gonna finally allow crossplay between the consoles? Probably not. But yeah, PS5, it's gonna be incredible because of these specs that are gonna be not even that impressive in a couple years when it comes out. Do you know how many people I saw on Twitter today respond to threads about the PS5 asking what's ray tracing? A lot of these people don't even know what they're bragging about. One more from 8K Daddy. Gabu responded, 8K support doesn't mean it'll run games in 8K, and we don't know if it'll have the fastest SSD. Your next two are subjective, and cheaper is also incorrect. Sorry, not a snob, I just care about being realistic about expectations. To which 8K Daddy responds, so much anger, sheesh. Little tip, 8K Daddy, people who have confidence in their arguments will actually argue things. From JoJo, PS5 will have ray tracing with the best devs to back it up. PC don't have that. This is why I say PC gaming will never touch console gaming, and the line only moves when consoles move. Consoles are king, facts. Did this motherfucker just say PC doesn't have ray tracing? And as for this, the line only moves when consoles move, if that were the case, consoles would never move. PCs are what keep gaming technology moving forward. If PC didn't have ray tracing, the consoles wouldn't have ray tracing. If PC didn't innovate 4K gaming, the consoles wouldn't have 4K gaming. Because the consoles are fixed hardware, and because the PC is not fixed hardware, the PC can be upgraded, the PC can be worked upon much more easily. PC is where the technological advancements come in gaming. We've had ray tracing on PC for a while. We've had 4K gaming on the PC for years. You guys are just now catching up. And the sad thing is, like I said, Sony said nothing about frame rate. So chances are, we're probably not even going to be at locked 60 on the PS5. So where's the line then? The fucking GameCube could play games at locked 60. Where was the line then? What happened to the frame rate line over the last couple decades? Switched from PC to console, PS4, and it's the best thing ever. Break for Vomit Bucket. No more Windows, no more drivers, updates. No more updates, really. And hardware upgrades, because apparently hardware upgrades are a bad thing to you. Just new games and waiting for the release of PS5. So no more hardware upgrades, but you're waiting for the release of the PS5. It's okay when we do it, guys, don't worry. Another one from JoJo. We talking about the PS5, not PS4. And the reason why PS4 is running at 30 FPS is the CPU is outdated. Everybody knows that. PS5 is another story, has new tech in it. Tech that ain't even out on PC yet. And for this, I go back to my argument about how this thing isn't going to be out for a couple years, so it will be outdated when it does come out. And the fact that it's not out on PC yet, you're just wrong. Ray tracing, 4K, running games at more than 30 FPS, that's on PC, bud. I'm sorry. PS5 getting 8 cores means basically the 8-core standard will begin in 2020, even for PC gaming. No. I mean, do you want to have less cores than a gaming console? I mean, I don't really care. Because if you understand cores and CPUs, then you know that this really isn't that big of a deal. See, here's the thing. Remember the whole teraflop thing about the Xbox One X? Teraflops and cores, yeah, they're kind of the same, in that same boat. It's always great to have more teraflops, and it's always great to have more cores, but for gaming, if you have enough, then that's fine. If you have enough, that's kind of it. And as for this, do you want to have less cores than a gaming console? Well, yeah. If I have less cores than a gaming console, but I'm still running the game better because cores alone don't dictate game performance, I don't give a shit. One more from JoJo. I called it and you PC guys wouldn't listen. Now with the best devs to back up a beast console and exclusive games will come out amazing and will force you PC gamers to become hypocrites and buy a PS5 and game on a console. Oh boy. You keep going back to this best devs thing. Best devs for what? Third-person action games with stealth and cover mechanics? A beast console, beast is... the exclusive games will come out amazing. You don't know that. And will force you PC gamers to become hypocrites and buy a PS5 and game on console. I highly, highly doubt it. I try to ignore the mainstream video game market, but I did note Sony's claims that the PS5 will eliminate load times, because if they can do that and target 60 FPS plus FreeSync, it will definitely be a better experience than my PC 144 FPS G-Sync. If you couldn't tell, I fucking loathe loads. Well, if you get used to them, they're not too bad. But let's go back to this. 60 FPS FreeSync on console is definitely a better experience than 144 FPS G-Sync on PC. So a console game running at 60 FPS is a better experience than a PC game running at 144 FPS. What? Next year's PS5 is a lot like today's mid-range gaming PC. Yeah. So what's it gonna be like in a year? The PS3 uses a non-standard CPU, the Cell Broadband engine, making production costs a lot higher. PS5 is basically using off-the-shelf parts, which brings its production costs way down by comparison. PS4 and PS5 are basically PCs.